Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. This is the 14th of April, 2023. This is the second go because I realized after 5 minutes that I guess I didn't hit the video button hard enough, or my zombie fingers that the phone doesn't read or anything. It never gets seen, so I've been talking on for 5 minutes and the video wasn't running. So here we are. I hope y'all had a good week, and I hope you can hear me over the wind whistling outside. I've been running around like a kook this morning, and ignore the knot on my head. That is a nearly death by crock pot lid. When the girls were here on Monday, I was gonna put some soup on, and I got my stool because I have to stand on a stool because my house is built for my husband, I guess. And I took it down and it slipped, and when it did, the lid came flying off and hit me right there. Y'all, I saw stars and birds, and this big knot instantly came up on my head. Lord have mercy. The girls were here, they came running in there, and I had to tell them to get back because I didn't know if it broke or what it hit me and I was just loopy. So of course it didn't. It landed in the I have a little like a cube container thing that has all my trash bags in it, all the extra trash bags, of all the sizes and things. And it just landed right on there after it busted my head. It just landed right in there. So nice. So yeah, ignore that. And if I say something crazy, it's probably the aftermath of the concussion. Only me can nearly die trying to make soup. I have a dark gift. But I did get some stitching done this week on several things. And then because I finished North Wind, I went and pulled out another WIP out of my WIP pile. And from my 19 that I had in July, I'm down to 7. So I'm super happy about that. And I'm hoping to have those knocked out by July. It may or may not happen. If it doesn't, but they have had a huge reduction. So that is super great. But the first one this morning is Lizzie Kate Halloween Rules. I was stitching on Visit a Haunted House, which is the third one. I finished the header here, and then I've done Wear a Costume, Eat Candy, and then I finished Visit a Haunted House this week. And I'll try to stick it right down here so we can see it. And as you can see, last night I got tired and just stopped with the needle right there. So I've been trying to also keep my exterior border going as I go. So I'll finish this little section here, and then I'll get a piece of black 310 and run it right here. And so as I go, my exterior border will be staying finished. I am loving this. It is so dang cute. I did change the color of the house because I didn't have king mackerel, which is what it calls for. The haunted house, it calls for king mackerel by Week Style Works, and I didn't have it. And the 3752, I think I had it and had debobbinated it. No, I did not have a 3752. So I went looking. No, I did. I'm a liar. There it is. So when I went looking for it, I saw this 4020, which has some of the same colors in it. So that's a DMC 4020 that I decided to stitch my little spooky house out of there. So this one has been oodles of fun to stitch on. And I'm not putting on any of the buttons. Each one has a little button, at least one button in each little thing. I'm not gonna put those on till the very end. So there is a little button that goes there. There's a button that goes on right there, and then Seems like there's one over here with the candy or something. But I'm loving this stitch. Like I said, your L&S may still have it. It is not new, but if not, 123 Stitch bought out all Lizzie Kate's designs when they retired. So you can, I'm sure, get them all from them. If they don't have them on there yet, they said they would eventually have everything up on there. But I bet they do have some of them on there. I have some of these, at least if not all of them, on there already. I should have checked, but I didn't. So, but I have been loving that guy. I don't know what that was. I don't think Keely could be back from West already, but maybe he could. That baby of mine can roll. Of course, it could just be the wind blowing something like insanely. It's really cloudy and overcast, and the wind is just going nuts out there. But these are called for DMCs, and then, like I said, I added in the 40/20, and this is the white Floss or Flosstube by DMC that I'm using for the ghost. It was a gift, and I'm loving it. Loving it. It gives such beautiful coverage. So I don't know if I'll be able to work on it in the car or not. Some of these, the count is small and the roads aren't super smooth, so we'll see. I worked on my Hummingbird sampler by Heart and Hand. Can y'all hear that? It's crazy. And I dropped my lamp, my light thing down, but I still feel like it's cutting off my needle. I'm not sure why. Oh well. But I did work on it some this week. This is that, one of y'all sent me this. It's a beautiful satin, variegated satin floss. And it is, it has Arabic writing on it. So it's some kind of Arabic floss, but it is so pretty. And I am loving it for this. Let's see if I can get him on here. I just worked on him a little bit one night, but he's working up pretty fast. If I can get him on here. So if I can get, if I can get that to work, that would be great. If I could put this here. All right. This is the Hummingbird sampler by Heart and Hand. It is on a piece of 28 count gray. There was just a scrap that I got the last time I was at the Stitch Niche. I always look on their little bin that has little pieces in there because they're great for smalls, and then it just gives you some variety of smalls, and I just think that's fun. And they're like super cheap. It was like $4 for a 13 by 4 piece, and which it seemed like it's 13 by 14, not 4, but anywho. So there is the cover photo. It's done in this beautiful mossy green, and I decided to do mine in this variegated, and I am loving it. And I've seen them some more this week, so I do have a couple that have made it already. I'll get Micah to come over and check my feeders and fill them if we're gonna be gone more than a couple of days. We just do what we want. We just do what we want. So if I'm not gonna be here, if I forget before I leave, I'll have her come fill it up so that they don't go hungry. Aria helped me fill the bird feeders up. Kirsty, she and I were out there filling up the bird feeder, so she's a good little helper. She had a rough week this week. She got bit by a little girl at school. Y'all, they're in kindergarten. This is not a toddler class. I do not understand. I feel like I raised the world's most feral children, but By the time they were in kindergarten, they knew better than to bite somebody. And it wasn't even her little nemesis that's always mean to her either. It was another little girl. I don't know. And the explanation was she just ran up and bit her on the playground. I got nothing. I got nothing. But working on the hummingbird sampler and watching for my hummingbirds has brought me so much happiness this week because I'm so happy they're coming back. So funny. And I've just kind of moved the colors around as I've stitched. If I wanted a certain part green or a certain part more red or like that, I just kind of moved my colors around and used a different part of the thread to get the effect I wanted. So you can always do that with variegated. Let me see if I can get this piece to pick up and maybe make some sense what I'm saying here. So you're on this string, so you can see we have red and then some green and then some red and then purple like this. So if I'm wanting to start stitching in a green, if I'm stitching in a green area and run out of thread and I want to continue on green, I just clip this bit off and save it and use it on a part that I want to be more purple, like that. Does that make sense? So you can control your variegated thread to whatever degree you're willing to get OCD about it. I'm not getting too OCD about it, but I am loving it. That one is so cute and it's stitching up beautiful and it's stitching up fast. It's a fast one, so I should have a good go on it by the time I have a good set of birds in the back. I've already had at least one little set of sparrows hatch out and they're flitting around. I thought it was a little early, but their little nest back there is empty. This is Woolly Winter, because I could see in the little birdhouse that they've already hatched out. I was kind of trying to keep an eye on them. This is Woolly Winters by Shepherd's Bush. Here again, this is another one that the little picture does not do it justice. The little picture is a little bit far off for me to see the design really good, but it is a gorgeous piece, and I just worry that some of these gorgeous pieces get passed up sometimes because the cover photo is not really showing off the needlework as much as I wish it would. Not that that's an easy thing to do. Please don't think I'm saying that I could take a better photo, because I'm not. But I just wish they were kind of closer up maybe or something, because it's a beautiful photo. The layout of the photo is beautiful, but you can't see the stitching so much. So, and sometimes it's the light that makes it hard to see, and I don't know. But this one is so dang cute. And I just hate the thought of somebody skipping it because they're like, when it's really not it's, oh. But I think I came down below because I finished my snowman in the top last week. I did this top section up here. I did my snowman and those 2 rows above him. And then I came down here under the snowflakes and I did the heart. I did Winter's Joy, the blue herringbone, the dark blue herringbone, and then there is a box stitch, and I don't know if I can get it where y'all can see, because the blue right there, maybe you can see it. It's nearly the same color as the fabric, but there's a blue box stitch with little crosses in between it, and then there is the little green. But do you see how intricate and beautiful this thing is? I mean, it is gorgeous. And so you just don't get how beautiful it is when you look at that picture. It's just stunning, y'all. I love it. It is so sweet. So I only have, let's see. After the little flowers, there's 4 rows, 1 set of words, and then the cross stitches at the bottom. So there's, I mean, this one in the next week or 2 will be another finish. So that will be another one off my board of 19 that I started with. So that one will be getting, and then it'll be ready to go on display next winter, and I'll be so happy. Because that's the reason I started all those last year. I realized I didn't have much just winter stitches for like after Christmas, you know, what I leave out after Christmas. Before I put out Valentine's Day and all that, I didn't have very many. And so I pulled out several North Wind, Woolly Winter. Oh my gosh, there was like 4 of them. North Wind, Woolly Winter. Winter by Cricket Collection. My little Holly Jolly Santa sampler was Christmas instead of winter, but it had never been finished. And I think there's only winter ones. Oh, Signs from Heaven to me is a winter one, but it has not got back in the good rotation yet to get tons of stuff going. So I worked on my Love Is Not All by A Wicked Stepmother. It is coming right along. Y'all know it's kind of hard for me because I have the diagonal stitching issue. So when I get in a spot that I have a lot of diagonals, like these beautiful motifs here, they're a little hard for me. So I focused this week on getting one of those done, and I did. And when I did, I just set it down. I let myself say, okay, you made it, that's enough. You can set it down now and do another one next time, because they are hard for me. But I did find that if I start in the middle of it and go straight across, do the part that has the most solid stitching, and then go across from there, that does help. Sometimes you can't do that so much if you can see through the linen a ton. This one is not very see-through. It's a 36 count and it's somewhat tight, so it's nice for that. And oh, the wind. If people live anywhere windier than this, I do not know how they stand it. I remember my friend Nancy telling me that when they were in the military and they got sent to Iceland, I think that was it, how the wind blew and how it nearly made her lose her mind. The sound of the wind just blowing and blowing and blowing, and it blew so hard, and I never did get it, because at my other house, at either one of my other houses, I've never been where the wind blew like this. I've always been kind of part of the way down, like a hill, because some of the elevations over here go up and down, and so I've always been on the downside of elevation. Do y'all hear that? Ugh. And so it didn't catch. Coming out this far enough, we're far enough out, and we're kind of on the top of what's sort of a big mesa. Midlothian has like a big dip, and we're on this outer rim of it, like out here. And so the wind comes up and hits this, and it just comes across, and the sound of it makes me want to holler. But I'm going to be so happy I'm going to holler when this is finished, because it's so beautiful. I decided to add a green instead of this is on a 36 count vintage rose, and it was supposed to be the red, one of these here. I decided to put a green here because I'm going to put our monogram and what else? And I've got this thing here. Oh, the kids' names. And so I wanted to pull some more green in it because I liked the green on this. And it is more, this is probably more of the right color, like that. But I love this piece. I love the design, I love the saying. So pretty. It has been so much fun to work on, so I've got my other icon over here, my other little heart flower thing, and this disc, and then our monogram, and then I think I'm gonna put the kids' names on here. And then I will have another one finished. So some of these are just moving right on along. But I stinking love it. I love it. I think Frankie did a great job on this. I hope some of y'all have stitch on. Let me know if any of y'all have stitch on. If you haven't, I want to encourage you to go get it and stitch it up, because it is a beauty, and she made it square, so it won't be $90 million to frame it, because it can be $90 million to frame them, as you all know. Carol was talking about that. She's got that stitching that big one, and one of her daughters, her husband's reframing a mirror for her, and he's gonna use that frame and frame Carol's big giant sampler. And I'm telling you, that's the only way to go, because if not, like she said, it'd be the national debt to get that thing framed. Because framed wood, any kind of wood, is expensive, and then by the time you pay for the person to make it, and it's a lot. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be, it's a lot of work, okay? I'm not trying to disrespect the framer, because there is a lot to frame in these pieces, and some of these people really do them right. So those really need a lot, and so it's a lot. So it's square, so you can frame it yourself and save 60 fortunes at least. Then I pulled out my Noah by Plum Street Sampler. It is Noah Words to Live By. He had kind of got on the back burner while I was trying to get some other things finished up. And he has Stories to Live By, Noah, from Plum Street Samplers. And he says, Noah, oh Noah, he was very good, did as he was told, and used gopher wood. And then it says, this is my Sunday school lesson, 1835, Hetty Pritchett, age 9 years. I am probably just gonna put a verse in there, or I may just take that part out and scrunch it up some, we'll see. But I probably will leave out at least part of that, or change it. But it is so cute. So, so cute. I got another, I only had one row done at the very tip top. So I got another hoe row done, and then the little line, the border line under it done. And I've left the little mess up I have down here at the bottom. I'll have to take it out before it's all said and done. But I've left it to remind myself what a ding dong I am, because I started stitching right here like I was gonna go this way. There's nothing wrong with me, I promise. So I'd had only the first line and the little line under there. So this week I did He Was Very Good, and did this border under here. I need to go in and fill in. Each one of those little links is filled in. So that's something that I will be able to do easily without having to look at the pattern. This is on a piece of, I believe it is Vintage Country Mocha from Jerry Lynn at Fabric and Floss, but I may be lying. I think it is a piece of 32 count. Vintage Country Mocha. This one says that theirs was stitched on 36 count light exemplar. But I know mine is on a 36, so I'm betting it's a 32. but it is going to be beautiful. It does have some over one on it. If you don't like over one, this one probably isn't for you, because there is two birds, two ladybugs, 2 words, no, 3 birds, and it looks like, and a rainbow. So there is numerous pieces. There may be more of the animals than that, maybe over one, as a matter of fact. No, it's not. So there's 3 birds, 2 ladybugs, and 4 words that are over 1. Well, I'm lying, because then there's 2 more birds. So there is a lot. There's probably 10 little animals and all that are over 1. So if you don't want to do any over 1, you might skip this one. Now, you could always just do some of the other animals more times, but then you would have more than 2. So you have to decide what works for you. But I am loving it. I'm so excited that I got it back out and am working on it. I said hopefully this week I'll get some good stitching done. I don't know, it depends. When James is off, it can go either way. Sometimes we sit at home and don't do much of anything but just stuff around here. And sometimes we go every day, so who knows? I am super excited about going to see the art card parade tomorrow, though. I have wanted to see it my whole stinking life. And now I'm finally going to get to go to Houston and see the art card parade. So that has me excited beyond belief. I don't think I had any questions. We did have some comments that I'll go over, but I don't think I had any like questions. What is that? That I needed to cover a little gnat in here or something. Probably got blue in here from who knows where. Or else I have a cataract. I don't know. I guess that could be that too. I'm not new anymore. Anything can happen. Anything can happen these days. I had Cash one day. I had the girls. On Monday, we did Easter egg hunt on Saturday. So we have been crazy busy. Let me see if I can grab some pictures. I swear, y'all, there is a little gnat in here. Annie had to go have one of her cataracts done this week, so I have cataract on the brain. Let me see. Okay. Here they were decorating cookies with Pap Saturday night. I was having to be the cleanup person. But they also did some Easter crackers, so Pap got a crown. Aria has been sick with that cough. And so when she was here, one night she wanted to draw. She does, Kia B told us about the Art Hub for Kids, and she loves it, that YouTube channel. So she and I sat in here, and then she drew a little Easter taco, a taco Easter bunny. Her mama had, because we had a taco bar for Easter. And then Catch was here and played with his little farm. But then, y'all, he bit it in his driveway. Y'all look at his poor little lip. This is pitiful. Look. Look at that poor baby. He was running in the driveway and did an absolute face plant on the concrete. I did a nothing bundt cake. I made a nothing red velvet, like the nothing bundt one. But then this was a big excitement this week. Well, y'all might have seen this. Aria found this giant sphinx moth right there by my finger on the wall. But then this is what James Williams had at work. Yep, a big old rattlesnake with 8 sections in the rattle. So it was 8 years old. I mean, we have them around here a lot. Keely and them have a big problem with them at the house, but yeah, so one of the guys skinned it and was gonna make himself a nice belt out of it, but I tell you all the time, don't move to Texas if you ain't prepared to live with everything trying to kill you, including your crock pot lid, because, see if I can find the place where it hit me in the noodle, y'all. Right there, look. You can't see it good. Maybe this one. Oh, there you can. It looked like I was sprouting a horn. Of course, James Williams got a big, huge laugh out of me sprouting a horn out of my head, but. So it's been a week. And then Aria went, y'all, I was dying. She showed up to stay with me the other day when she didn't feel good. Y'all, she had half a big giant Easter egg on her head and wore it for about half the day around the house. I don't know. But they got into the doctor and then they were out of antibiotics. It took them 2 days to get her antibiotic because she had a sinus infection and an ear infection. I don't understand this. I do not understand why we're out of everything still. This makes no sense to me because lots of people died during the COVID. I know some of my family members did. Lots of people passed away from the COVID. So we have less people using stuff. And the people who died the least were the people in the workforce, that age. So why are we out of everything? These are things I don't understand. Where are the medicines? Where are they at? It makes no sense to me. No sense to me at all. None. None at all. I got Happy Mail this week. So exciting. Okay, I opened up this big box and Trisha had sent and asked for my address. Y'all, look at this. And now I have got to find this pattern because I've never seen this one. Evidently it's a prairie schooler, I'm guessing Noah. She said she made it in the 90s. The finishing on it is gorgeous. I put the note on the back so I wouldn't lose it. But look at that, look at her piping. It's perfect. She said she's at that age where she's passing on things and hoping they'll go to people who will enjoy them. And I'm going to enjoy the heck out of him. So thank you so much, Trisha. He is adorable. But I really do need to stitch him smaller too. But I have never seen this. I've stitched the prairie schooler that has the arc and has the animals around. But I've never seen him. So out and about this week, I'm going to try to run him down. So thank you so much, Trisha, because he is wonderful. And I'm so excited. He will be so happy here. I got an Easter card from Nell, which was so exciting. During COVID, Nell and Janelle and Tracy and I would Zoom every week. And then after everything went back off lockdown, I never could get my time work back out. And I think they got their time work back out, but I never did. And I have missed visiting with them. So I've got to get myself right again. And this is from Julie. Thank you, Julie. Julie always sends the most beautiful cards and sends fun stuff from the girls and puts a beautiful note in here. And so I hope you're having a good week. And I am so glad about your sister's good news. But I am so sorry that now she's having to recover from broken arm, I think. Oh, and Neil, it said somebody had unsealed our package, so I hope you didn't have no Fabergé egg in there for me or nothing because it got out, or a check for $1 million because somebody didn't got it. But let me know, because it said there's a little stamp on there from the post office that it was unsealed. And then I got this beautiful card from Lori. It is so cute. And she's got stickers in here. And all these beautiful fun stickers to put in the girls will take these because they're always playing school and then rating, you get a happy faces for being good. And these are beautiful ones for my journal, so I'll have to hide them. But then she sent me this, and it says, words are sacred, they deserve respect. If you get the right ones in the right order, you can nudge the world a little. by Tom Stoppard. And I love that. I love that, and that is so true. And she said she knew I loved words, and I do. I do. I tell you all the time I'm a word whore, and that ain't no joke. I love words. I love to read. I love to write. I love to color them and draw them, and I write every day I keep a gratitude journal that I write in every day. I write 3 things I'm grateful for, 3 things I'm excited about every day, and then I have a little doodle in there every day. And then I got this adorable card from Karen, which was a thank you, which she sent something in my thank you. So it is this adorable bowl of cherries on there. And this will be perfect to go in the truck with me. I have got a new a cup holder. I got the Jeep cup holders are odd for me because I always have, like, I'm a heavy drinker, right? So I always have like a big drink, always, and they don't like to fit. So I got one of those things. It's not like a cup phone because it's not made to hold your phone, but it's kind of like it sits down in there and then it goes out to the side so it can hold your cup. And so I don't have a car coaster for that. If y'all don't have car coasters, these things are fabulous. This one is from Hobby Lobby, which I've never seen them in there. I used to get mine at a little place in town, but evidently they have them at Hobby Lobby. So if you have your cup in there and your cup, sweats, the same thing will soak it up. It's a little stone thing, like soak it up so you don't have like water yuckness standing down in there. And then rings for the girls, glow in the dark rings. So they're going to be super excited about these. I'm sure we will wear them next Friday night when they spend the night. They won't spend the night tonight because we won't be here, so they don't have to wait till next week. So thank you so much, Karen, for that. So Karen, Neil, and Lori, and Julie, thank y'all for thinking of me this week. And Trisha for my beautiful pillow. I am super excited about it. I had a little bit of questions and comments. Christine said that the dark chocolate, because I told y'all I love the dark chocolate with orange at Aldi is so good. She said they have one with sea salt, and I have seen the one with sea salt and the one with chili in it. And she said that they are delicious. So I haven't tried either one of those, so I'll have to get those and try them because I love me some dark chocolate. J.I. Primitives, I'm praying for your surgery and your recovery. And you said you're going to be on liquids for a while. I don't know if you can choose the liquids or not. James Williams buys the nastiest protein drinks that I think taste so nasty. Of course, they have 0 sugar in them. But Aldi has them, and I mean, they have, what is it? It's less than 20% of your daily, it's like 18 grams of sugar in this protein drink, but it's a meal replacement drink, right? But if you have to drink a protein drink, or you're trying to drink protein drinks and you don't have diabetes, because you can drink 5 a day or 6 or what, and still be within your allotted amount of sugar, right? But they taste like chocolate milk, or chalky milk as we call it around here. They're not, because that's the way I feel about the one that he bought me some. I don't remember if it was the muscle milk ones or something. And it tasted like perfume. I ain't trying to drink no perfume. It was so gross. And it's supposed to be chocolate, some kind of chocolate, and it tasted like perfume, but I think it might have been the muscle milk. I'm not sure about the brand, but it was yucky. Or it was yucky to me. KDA Stitches, she says she is in Northeast Arkansas. I have family up in Jonesboro. So Annie is probably going to head out there this week, so I probably won't get to go, but they are right there. They're in Dumas and Jonesboro and Fayetteville, right around like that. So M80 Watson, she says she has just started cross stitching and she's 80, and I love that, and she loves it. And I also love that your grandson, she said her grandson got her set up on YouTube so she can watch everybody's Flosstubes. So much love to M80 Watson, and even more to her grandson who took the time to make his grandma a priority and set up something that he thought that she would enjoy. So you give him a big hug and a kiss, because that's a good baby right there. Oh, Karen, my parents went to see the Ark when they were in Kentucky, and they really enjoyed it. I have family in Kentucky too, so I could go there, but that's one of the things that I would like to see someday and have yet to make it. Nancy Malcolm, I was talking about when CJ was little and he got sick for the first time, and he came and running in there and told us that he had swallowed up. He was so upset. And she said her grandbaby calls it the sick spits. He has the sick spits. And that, here again, that is a perfect explanation of what's going on here. It is not pleasant, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay, Ernie asked about, let me see if I can, do I have anything here? When I'm doing the sewing method, which the sewing method is when you're not doing one cross at a time, you're doing one leg at a time. So for me, I start at the bottom. Let's just flip back here and see if I can find a blank page. If I can get my brain going right. So if I'm doing the sewing method, I start in this bottom corner and go to up this corner. And I go like this. And I do one row at a time. And then I turn and come back and drop to this corner. And then I'm crossing this way. I do think it makes your stitches prettier. The sewing method for me, I think, makes for prettier stitches. I think Jean Ferris says that too. And of course she is, in my opinion, the penultimate stitcher. But I feel like my stitches are laying smoother and look prettier when I do that. But normally if I'm doing the sewing method, I go across and then I come back, and then I go the next row and across and back like this. I can do, if I'm wanting to, depending on how I want my variegation to look, I do stitch down sometimes. And if I'm stitching down, I go this bottom left, let me see, that'd be bottom left to top right, bottom right to top left. And then I drop down and do bottom right to top left, and then like this. If that makes any sense. If I'm stitching down. But if I'm doing the sewing method, I do one row at a time. I don't do a section, because to me, if I do here and then I turn and either try to come back this way, or if I do here and then run my thread across the back and come back here, this pulls my stitches this direction or this direction. It messes up the lay of my stitches. So in my opinion, if you're doing the sewing method, you need to do a row and then come back and cross that row, drop down, go one leg, the bottom leg of your stitch, and then come back and do the top leg of your cross, drop down like that. That's how I do. I think it makes the smoothest, prettiest stitches that way. Here again, people may not agree with that. It's stitching is personal, and it may be, maybe if you stitch with a hoop, it doesn't matter. Maybe if you hold your fabric different than I hold mine, it doesn't matter. Or if you stitch with a Q-snap or something. I stitch in hand, and so you have to be mindful of your stitch tension, because I don't, let's see, where's this little piece here? I don't want my fabric to be all wonky because of the way I've stitched, right? So I need to be super mindful of what my stitches are doing. So you can see here that I haven't pulled my fabric enough to distort it. So when you stitch in hand, that's something you need to be mindful of, is your stitch tension is 100% your responsibility. If you have it in a hoop or a Q-snap, that hoop or that Q-snap is taking part of that load for you. It is maintaining the tension on the fabric, right? And so then it's easier to make sure your stitches are the same tension, because it's holding it taut for you. That fabric is in that hoop or that Q-snap, and it's holding it taut. And so it's harder, in my opinion, to over pull your stitches in a hoop than it is in hand, because it's holding it like this, and it's your thread. If you're laying it down smooth, it's like this. If it's in your hand and you're just stitching along and not paying attention, I mean, I seen a lady at the Michael's one day brought in a thing for a man to frame, and I just walked off because I thought, what is that man gonna say to her? It was so distorted, and just because her stitches, I guess she stitched in hand. I don't know how she had done it otherwise, but the fabric was just all like that. I don't know how that man was ever gonna get that blocked and squared up, which that's when you say block, that means to square it up and get it the right dimensions and not wonky, straight. I don't know how that man was ever gonna do that. I have no clue, because that was a hot wreck. I seen her get that out of her bag, and I just turned and went the other way because I thought, what am I gonna say? I didn't even want to hear what that man was gonna say to her, because I cannot imagine how he ever dealt with that. I do not know. So I think if you're doing the sewing method, which I do think makes your stitches, makes the prettiest stitches, go across the bottom leg of your stitch, the first leg, and then come back across, drop down to the next row and go like this and this and this. Same thing if you stitch bottom up, you know, you're gonna go this way and this way and then this way and then this way. My problem with going bottom up is then if you go this way and then you come back, when you go to start that row above, your bottom left corner down here is the same place you just finished, because it is your top left corner for this stitch. So then you have to switch one the wrong direction, or do one last, or say it's not stuck. You're gonna have to skip over and then come back and catch that one when you're done at the end. So for me, that won't work. I know lots of people do, and they probably know a different way to do it than I do, but I don't know that way. So Ernie, I hope that helped. I was really rambling there. Was that everything? Okay, that may be everything. I'm gonna try to get this uploaded. I need to get the last bit of trash out the house, because y'all know I ain't about to leave my house overnight and leave some trash in here. Not gonna happen. I cleaned out the refrigerator. I'm all packed up in there, so I think I'm ready to go. So I just need to carry out the trash, and James Williams is supposed to be here, I think, at 12:30, and I'm supposed to load up and roll. So I think that's everything I have this week. I'm not gonna do, I will announce the shares next week, because I won't be here to mail, you know, we're gonna be out and about. So we're gonna be running and doing stuff every day, and I don't wanna be checking my emails and stuff to try to get anything in the mail and be thinking about that. So I'll announce them next week. When I come back, I should be back to film like normal on Friday. So until then, y'all have a happy Friday and have a great week and enjoy your stitching. Bye.